It's only normal that your father's blood pressure would shoot up after you didn't listen and drove him crazy as a kid. What isn't normal, however, is a consistently high blood pressure that can lead to scary consequences like heart disease, kidney disease, and even death. So why is high blood pressure such bad news? Stay tuned as we discuss this. Also, we'll give you the 7 ways to naturally reduce high blood pressure without the need for medication. So let's jump right into it. What is high blood pressure? When you go to the doctors to get your blood pressure checked, he'll give you 2 values of blood pressure instead of 1. The higher value is the systolic pressure, and the lower value is the diastolic pressure. A systolic pressure less than 120 millimeters of mercury and a diastolic reading of fewer than 80 millimeters of mercury is considered normal blood pressure. High blood pressure is defined as being over 130 systolic and over 80 diastolic millimeters of mercury. This condition is incredibly common in the U.S., with 50% of U.S. adults currently suffering from it as of 2021. The elevated levels of blood pressure are dangerous for the heart and blood vessels alike, as they need to work harder to pump the blood and thus the oxygen to all the organs. This condition can interfere with the normal functioning of the body's organs and can even lead to their death in severe cases. The heart that has to suffer through this constantly develops a condition called hypertrophy, where the heart muscles enlarge and loses its ability to function properly. That then leads to severe problems like heart disease, stroke, kidney failure, and eventually death. Scared? Don't be, because just a few small changes in your daily life can rid you of this evil. Let's look at the 7 natural ways to reduce high blood pressure. Number 1. Get physically involved. The modern jobs have become more and more office-based, where everything gets taken care of by the computers. The shopping can be done online. The food, well, it's just a call away from being delivered. And to top it off, robots are almost here to rob us of the little physical exertion that we used to get. In an ideal world like this, who'd want to sweat and get themselves all smelly? The people who don't want to die young, it seems. You exercise to stay healthy. There are many health benefits of exercise, and weight loss is just one of them. Another major benefit of exercise is that it can help you in lowering your blood pressure. An analysis of 65 studies on the effects of exercise on blood pressure suggests quite emphatically that aerobic and resistance exercise has a definite link with lowering of blood pressure, especially for men. Regular exercise helps to increase the breathing and heart rates. That over time leads to a stronger heart that can pump the blood smoothly, which leads to lowering of blood pressure. But I don't have the time to run a marathon. Don't worry. Even if you did have the time, it's not necessary for good health. But that doesn't mean that you should just give up on your consistently high blood pressure. Studies reveal that just a moderate intensity workout for 40 minutes a day should do the trick. But if you can't even spare that much, then 10 to 15 minutes of mini workouts for 3 to 4 times a day will be more than enough to get your heartbeat going. Number 2. Lose weight. Being overweight is like being a disease magnet. You'll attract every evil out there to yourself. High blood pressure is no different, so losing extra weight should be a priority. But you don't need to lose a whole lot to see an improvement. Just a mere 5 to 10 pounds off of your body could lower your blood pressure considerably. We mentioned that exercise is the most important factor in lowering blood pressure. Regular exercise can also start you off on your weight loss journey. But it's important to note that even if you work out for 2 hours daily, if you don't take care of your diet, then you won't see any weight loss. Exercise cannot cover for your bad eating habits, so focus on getting your food priorities straight. For starters, try to eat whole foods and avoid processed foods whenever possible. Number 3. More potassium and less sodium. Another critical factor in maintaining your blood pressure is the potassium-sodium ratio. When the ratio starts to shift more towards the side of sodium, it can increase blood pressure. Potassium is the heart's best friend. Potassium not only lessens the effect of salts, but also helps to loosen up the blood vessels. One disclaimer though, potassium is great and all for lowering blood pressure, but it can be harmful to people with kidney disease. So it is always best to run everything by your doctor before making any changes, especially in your diet. Some of the potassium-rich foods include fish, bananas, apricots, avocados, potatoes, tomatoes, spinach, and many others. If you want to learn more about the beneficial effects of potassium on your body, we have done a complete video on this topic already. The link is in the description below. Now, to lower the salts in your diet, the National Institute of Health recommends the DASH diet. DASH stands for Dietary Approach to Stop Hypertension. This diet consists of low-sodium foods, fruits and veggies, low-fat dairy, whole grains, fish, beans, and poultry. Also, not everyone needs to be wary of their salt intake. Some people are salt-sensitive, whose blood pressure increases on intake of salts, but others are salt-insensitive. that may take the extra salt the one way and release it the other way, without experiencing an increase in blood pressure. Number 4. Sugar needs to go. We mentioned in the last point that salts can increase your blood pressure, so cutting back on them should lower your blood pressure. But what should you replace the salt with? If your answer to this is sugar, then you're in for a surprise. According to a review published in 2014, sugar, especially fructose, may be more harmful to your blood pressure than even salt. Everyone's favorite, sugar is found in almost all processed foods, and don't even get me started on soft drinks. They add these unhealthy amounts of sugar in their products to make them addictive. No, this is not a conspiracy theory. Research has found that sugar can stimulate the brain's pleasure centers in a manner that is similar to the effects of drugs. These enormous amounts of sugar make these processed foods and beverages very difficult to avoid. But is that all? These excess amounts of sugar are the number one reason for the increase in the prevalence of type 2 diabetes and also high blood pressure. So avoid purchasing that packet of gummy bears the next time you go to the store. Number 5. High protein foods equal a lower blood pressure. Where sugar can take you to the pit hole of high blood pressure, high protein foods can rescue you from there. A 2014 study found that high protein foods lower the risk of high blood pressure. For instance, people who ate 100 grams of protein a day had a 40% lower risk of having high blood pressure than people who were on a low protein diet. The risk further decreased to 60% by complementing the high protein diet with fiber. Again, take everything that we recommend, especially the dietary recommendations, with a grain of salt. While the information that we provide is based on research, it is still no substitute for professional advice. Since a high-protein diet is not for everyone, like kidney patients, it is best to consult your doctor first. That being said, some of the clean sources of high-quality protein include fish, eggs, poultry, beef, beans, and legumes, chickpeas, and nuts. Number 6. There's no alternative to a good night's sleep. Among the many evils that sleep deprivation brings, high blood pressure is one of the more pronounced ones. Where sleep regulates many of our systems, it also regulates our blood pressure. While it can be tempting to put sleep on the back burner just to finish a Netflix season in a night and earn the bragging rights in front of friends, it's not worth it for you to be sacrificing your health and potentially your life. If you are like a lot of people, then it isn't so much an issue of watching TV shows that keep you awake. It's your inherent inability to fall asleep even if you turn to bed earlier than most. To fix this issue, there are a few things that you can try. Don't strain yourself before going to bed. Exercise during the day. Avoid sleeping during the day. Make your room dark and a bit cooler. Blue light is the enemy, so avoid using screens before going to bed. How many hours should you be sleeping to avoid the wrath of high blood pressure? Well, not fewer than 7 hours, but also not more than 9. Furthermore, if you sleep less than 5 hours a night, then high blood pressure can turn into a long-term thing. Trust me, you don't want to be there. Number 7. Stress management. The boss wants the report tomorrow, the kids want new clothes, the wife wants more time, and your favorite team just got knocked out of the tournament. How should you even go about managing all of this? Short-term stress simply cannot be avoided, but if that stress starts to pile up, then it can lead to an onslaught of diseases. To prevent this from happening, you should have a stress-relieving activity ready just in case. There are a lot of different ways of relieving stress, and you can choose any. It all depends on your preference and whatever works for you. For example, for some people, reading seems to do the trick, and for others, sports seems to be the solution to their stress problems. Similarly, yoga, meditation, listening to music, and watching a comedy movie are all some of the ways that can help you in relieving stress. Finally, to summarize, high blood pressure puts a lot of strain on the heart and arteries and leads to heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, and eventually death. So high blood pressure should not be taken lightly. Lucky for us, only a few small daily changes can lead to improvements in high blood pressure and save you from an early death. These changes include exercising regularly, losing extra weight, increasing potassium intake and reducing salts and sugars, improving sleep quality and quantity, and managing stress. However, you should check with your doctor first before making any significant diet changes. We hope that you benefited from this video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends and family. Want to see more videos like this one? Please subscribe to our channel, Welcome to Wellness, and press that bell icon as well, so you never miss another video. We'll see you in another healthy video. Until then, take care.